I should never have taken a job. But after dropping out of college and cutting ties with almost everyone, I needed something, anything, to quiet my head. When I saw the listing for a temporary overnight caretaker at an old government building in Eastmoor, I applied without thinking. Simple duties, the ad read. Monitor the property, report break-ins, log activity, $300 per night. 1 week contract. Too good to be true. But I didn't ask questions. I packed a bag and took a train. The building was an 8-story hulk of concrete and glass, half buried by decades of grime and neglect. The security guard who gave me the keys didn't say much, just warned me not to spend time on the 5th floor. It's sealed anyway, he muttered, eyes down. Just keep your log. Patrol every hour. No heroics. I laughed it off, but something about the way he wouldn't look at the elevator made my stomach tighten. That first night, I settled in the lobby. Dead quiet. The kind of silence that makes your own breath feel too loud. At 10 p.m., I took the elevator to the 8th floor and began my rounds. It was exactly what you'd expect. Empty hallways, office doors slightly ajar, cracked tiles. Everything smelled faintly of mold and copier toner. I logged each floor in my notebook. Floors 6, 7, and 8 were all clear. At midnight, I hit the lower floors. When the elevator passed the 5th floor, it slowed. Not stop, just a slight hesitation, like something heavy had pressed the down button from inside. I told myself it was a mechanical glitch. I continued my rounds. Floor 4, floor 3, nothing but darkness and dust. At 3:15 a.m., I was back in the lobby, nodding off in a folding chair when I heard it. Footsteps, not distant or muffled, sharp, deliberate, echoing from the stairwell. I froze. There was no way anyone else was in the building. No other cars outside. I hadn't unlocked the front door since I arrived. I got up, flashlight in hand, and crept toward the stairs. Nothing. The stairwell was empty. But the sound, it hadn't come from above or below. It felt like it had come from between the floors. I didn't sleep. The second night was worse. At 11:52 p.m., while patrolling the 7th floor, all the lights in the hallway flickered out in perfect unison. Just a split-second blink, but enough to freeze my blood. I scanned with my flashlight. Everything was still. Then I heard it again. Footsteps, but now they were above me. Only the 8th floor was higher, but it was empty. I'd already checked. Still, I took the elevator up, heart pounding. The hallway was unchanged. No wind, no footsteps. But when I turned to leave, the elevator doors slid shut before I reached them. The button wouldn't light up. I waited. 10 seconds. 30. A full minute. Then the hallway lights began to shut off, one by one, starting from the far end and moving toward me. Pop, pop, pop. Darkness inching closer like falling dominoes. I didn't wait. I sprinted down the hall and yanked the stairwell door open. Inside, the motion sensor light flicked on and stayed on. I was alone again, or so I thought. By the 3rd night, I was unraveling. Something was wrong with the 5th floor. I hadn't tried to enter it. Not really. But at 2:34 a.m., the elevator stopped there. No button pressed. No floor selected. It just stopped. The doors didn't open, but I swear I heard breathing. Just on the other side. Slow. Wet. Like someone pressing their mouth to the crack. I hit every button. The elevator refused to move. Then, after 30 unbearable seconds, the doors opened just an inch. Not enough to see in. Just enough to show a sliver of black. And from that gap, something scraped against the metal. Not claws. Fingernails. I took the stairs the rest of the night. On the final night, I was done pretending I could explain it all. At exactly 3 a.m., every phone in the building began to ring. Office landlines, disconnected decades ago, all ringing in a perfect rhythm. I walked past one on the 4th floor. The caller ID glowed, floor 5. I didn't answer, but one rang louder than the rest. A red phone in a glass-walled meeting room, like a fire alarm hotline. The label above it said, "Emergency use only." It was ringing, slowly, steadily. I picked it up. No voice, no static, just the sound of breathing. And then, faintly, in a whisper that barely sounded human, "You've already been here." I dropped the phone and ran. I didn't wait for my shift to end. I didn't care about the paycheck. I left the keys on the front desk and walked into the street just before dawn, never once looking back. I've never told anyone about it. Not fully. The building's still there, as far as I know. Still rotting in silence. Still hiring desperate loners like me to sit in the dark and listen to the walls breathe. No one ever reported a ghost. No bodies were found. No one screamed. No blood on the floor. But I've had the same dream every month since I left. I'm in that elevator. The 5th floor lights up, and when the doors open, there's nothing there. Just the sound of my own name, whispered by something I never saw. And the sickest part? Sometimes I want to go back, just to find out if I ever really left. I'm Jake. I'm not someone who scares easily. I've always thought ghosts were just stories people told themselves when they didn't understand the noises their house made. I believed every creak, groan, or knock had a logical reason. Until last week. My parents went out of town for 4 days to visit family. I stayed back. I was looking forward to peace, just me, snacks, and movies. The first night went by like any other. Quiet. I stayed up late watching a thriller, then crashed on the couch. Nothing weird. But as I lay there, I couldn't shake the feeling that the silence was off. Not calm, expectant. The second night, just before midnight, I heard a creak on the stairs. Not just any step, the second one, which always groans when stepped on. It was just a single sound. I paused my movie and waited. Nothing followed. I chalked it up to the wood shifting. The third night, I woke up around 2 a.m. to a strange noise above me. Something small, like a marble rolling across the ceiling. Slow, deliberate. It stopped right above my bed. Then came a soft tap. I stared at the ceiling. That was the attic. We don't keep anything up there. And we definitely don't keep marbles. Still, I didn't move. I just waited for it to stop. On the final night, things changed. At 3 a.m., I woke up freezing cold. My breath came out in visible clouds. The heating was on. The windows were closed. Then from the living room below, I heard it. A long exhale. Slow. Heavy. Like someone had been holding their breath all night. I didn't move. Then I heard the stairs creak again. The second step. But this time, it was coming up, step by step. Slowly. Carefully. I stared at my closed door, heart pounding, half expecting it to swing open.
It never did, but the air in the room felt wrong, like I wasn't the only one breathing it. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. When morning came, I checked every room. Nothing out of place. No windows open. No signs of anyone ever being there. But something had been. I never saw a shadow. Never heard a voice. Nothing I could prove, but I felt it. Since then, I sleep with music on and the hallway light glowing under my door. I don't talk about it much, but I still skip the second stair when I walk up. And sometimes, late at night, I pause what I'm doing. Because I swear, I can still hear that marble rolling.